House Lannister of Casterly Rock, one of the great houses of 7 kingdoms, and the principal house of the Westerlands. Their seat is Casterly Rock, though another branch exists that is based in nearby Lannisport. The unofficial motto of Lannisters is a Lannister always pays his debts. The Warden of the West is a Lannister by tradition. Fair-haired, tall and handsome, the Lannisters are the blood of Vandal adventurers who carved out a mighty kingdom in the western hills and valleys. Through the female line, they boast of descent from Lan the Clever. The Lannisters reigned as kings of the Rock until they fell to the Targaryen conquest, but were allowed to remain the liege lords of the Westerlands. The house had fallen on hard times during the rule of Lord Titus, but was restored to its former glory by Lord Tywin. His daughter Cersei is the queen of King Robert I Baratheon, while her twin Sir Jaime is a knight of Robert's Kingsguard. Members of the family tend to have golden hair and emerald green eyes. The keep at Casterly Rock sits on top of a gold mine built into the very rock. From that lofty yet uncomfortable position, House Lannister rules over the Westerlands and influences all of Westeros by virtue of the kingdom's purse strings. House Lannister possessed an ancestral Valyrian steel greatsword called Brightroar, but it was lost when King Tommen's second Lannister went on a quest to Valyria and never returned. The Lannisters have been looking for a replacement ever since, though they have not stopped looking for their own lost ancestral sword. When Lyanna Lannister, the Dowager Queen of the Iron Islands, was mutilated by drowned men, her nephew, the King of the Rock, began a war which left the Iron Islands impoverished. In more recent times, during the lordship of Titus Lannister, the house fell on hard times. Titus's weakness allowed him to be bullied by his vassals. Eventually, his son Tywin brought the wayward bannerman to heel and restored the house to its former glory. Soon thereafter, Tywin was made Hand of the King by Aerys II Targaryen, holding that position for many years. When Aerys was held hostage by Denys Darklan, Tywin's conservative approach took 6 months to resolve the conflict. This instigated Aerys's paranoia and drove a wedge between the two, along with the king's lusting after Tywin's wife, cousin, and trusted confidant, Joanna. Tywin was never a jovial man, but when Joanna died, birthing their 3rd child, Tyrion, he was much saddened, and his brother Kevin became his right hand. Their sister Janna took a maternal role over the children. His second brother, Tyget, died of a pox, and their brother Garyon sailed off on a journey to Valyria, never to be seen again. Despite Tywin's attempts to ensure a strong legacy, life at Casterly Rock was dysfunctional at best. His twin children Cersei and Jaime began an incestuous relationship at an early age. Cersei, while a young maid, visited a woods witch called Maggie the Frog, who shared portents of Cersei's future that planted seeds of her paranoia. Cersei murdered her friend Malara Heatherspoon, who had witnessed the prophecy. Tyrion, when 13 years old, was out with Jaime when he met and married a girl named Tysha, a match which was quickly and savagely ended by Lord Tywin. Tywin offered Tyrion to houses Martell, Hightower, Royce, Florent, and Tully, but he was rejected by all. Jaime was a promising young knight, dubbed by Sir Arthur Dane. Tywin was devastated when Jaime joined King Aerys's Kingsguard, breaking off a betrothal to Lysa Tully. Upon this action, which he perceived as the Mad King stealing his heir, coupled with the Mad King's refusal to wed Prince Rhaegar Targaryen to Cersei, Tywin resigned the handship. This flew in the face of Jaime's plan, which was to be closer to Cersei. He was kept in King's Landing while Cersei returned to Casterly Rock. During Robert's rebellion, the Lannisters stayed neutral for the majority of the war. Only after the defeat of Prince Rhaegar at the Trident did Lord Tywin bestir himself to join Robert Baratheon against the Targaryen dynasty, perpetrating the sack of King's Landing when the Lannister loyalist Grandmaster Pycelle suggested the gates be opened. There, Sir Jaime Lannister, still a Kingsguard, slew Aerys, the last crowned Targaryen king. Meanwhile, Tywin's knights killed the rest of the Targaryens in the capital to prove their commitment to Robert's cause. Afterwards, Tywin's daughter Cersei was wed to King Robert. Much of Lord Tywin's energy is directed inward, ensuring all of his relatives do their part to uphold the family name. The words of House Lannister are, "Hear me roar." Casterly Rock, nicknamed The Rock, is a castle and the seat of House Lannister, the capital of the Westerlands. It overlooks the harbor of Lannisport and the Sunset Sea. Casterly Rock is carved out of a great stone hill, Colossal Rock, beside the Sunset Sea. It is popularly believed to resemble a lion in repose at sunset. The Casterlys of antiquity built a ring fort on the peak, and as millennia have passed, its natural defenses have been expanded with walls, gates, and watchtowers. The base of the rock contains large sea-carved caverns. The stone has been mined for thousands of years, so there are hundreds of mine shafts in the depths of the rock, as well as yet untouched gold veins. The rock has been measured at 3 times the height of the wall, or the high tower of Old Town. It is almost 2 leagues long from west to east, and contains tunnels, dungeons, storerooms, barracks, halls, stables, stairways, courtyards, balconies, and gardens. In the bowels of the rock are rooms where caged lions were once kept, and cells. The castle contains a sept. The Lion's Mouth, the main entry to Casterly Rock, is an enormous natural cavern reaching 200 feet high. Its steps are now wide enough for 20 riders. Its port has docks and shipyards and is accessible by longships and cogs. From below the rock, thunder can be heard where the sea comes in. The Golden Gallery contains treasures of the Lannisters, including gilded ornaments and walls. The Hall of Heroes is where the Lannisters and their close kin who have died valiantly are interred. The armor of Lannisters of old are also displayed in the hall. The Stone Garden is a godswood with a twisted weirwood, a tenth the size of Raventree halls. Some claim that Lan the Clever still hounds the fortress which has never fallen. Lannisport is located less than a mile south of Casterly Rock, along the coast of the Sunset Sea, where the River Road, the Gold Road, and the Ocean Road meet. It is one of the major ports of the Seven Kingdoms, and it is the largest settlement in the Westerlands. Lannisport is smaller than King's Landing or Old Town, but larger than Gulltown or White Harbor. Tywin Lannister, the Lord of Casterly Rock and Warden of the West, includes Shield of Lannisport amongst his titles.